Welcome to my Easy Art Lessons. I'm your host, Derek Cadet, and I'm happy that you've decided to join me for this beginner's lesson on preparing your canvas. I hope you find this easy to follow and that you also learn enough to go out and start your own journey into the world of painting with acrylics. The first thing you need to do is prepare your painting area. This is my art space, where you can see I get plenty of natural light and I have a few different surfaces available for painting. I've gone over how to set up a budget-friendly personal studio in previous lessons, so let's just take a look at what we need for preparing your canvas. First, obviously, you're going to need a canvas. It's sort of one of the most important items you need when painting, paint being probably the most important. For this lesson, I'm going to use an inexpensive canvas, which costs about $10 for an 18 by 24 inch canvas. You can find them cheaper than that, but you'll want to look for an acid-free canvas that is recommended for acrylic painting. Most canvases will come already gesso primed, but I suggest that you still do your own priming, even with more expensive studio quality canvases. Canvases get handled a great deal in packaging and in transport and in the store. Oils from the hands and dust in the air can have an effect on your canvas, and you want the best surface possible to paint on. Also, you'll notice that unprimed canvases don't hold the paint as well and get very watery looking, and it takes a lot more paint. Paint is more expensive than gesso, so I always suggest that you do your priming beforehand. Okay, next we're going to need to get some gesso. Your local art supply store will have it pre-made for you. A 16 fluid ounce bottle costs about $10. If you're interested in saving even more money, you can go ahead and make your own. There are many videos on how to do this, but I might go ahead and make my own later and make a video of it. Essentially, gesso is made up of a few different chemicals that clean the surface and add an adhesive similar to school glue to it to make the paint flow smoother, and it helps to take less paint to bond to the surface. By using gesso, your painting will last longer, the colors will stay more true, and you're less likely to have your paint chip, peel, or flake. It's rather important if you want your paints to last. So you're also going to need a paintbrush. I have two different brushes. One is a regular 1.5 inch brush you can buy at your local hardware store. I use this for larger canvases. The other one I often use is 1 inch wash brush for smaller canvases. Any brush will really do, so go ahead and save money here by buying a larger house brush. Make sure the hairs are fine though, as you don't want to damage your canvas. Make sure you have a little bit of clean water around as well to mix with the gesso, and to clean up the inevitable spill on your nice shirt. I guess I may as well suggest here that you don't wear your best clothes when painting. Okay, so now you've got your canvas, it's set up on your easel, you've got your gesso, your water, and your brushes. Now it's time to get dirty. You're going to want to carefully open up the container of gesso. If it is new, there's going to be a protective cover on it that will make an absolute mess when you open it up, so be careful. Have some newspaper laying underneath and a good supply of paper towels. After you open the container, you're going to want to gently stir the gesso to make sure the chemicals that might be suspended are evenly distributed. The instructions say you can shake the container to mix, but I don't recommend that, as shaking causes bubbles to form on the mixture. You don't want bubbles on your painting. I use the handle of a small size 1 paintbrush to do my stirring. You'll need to take out just enough gesso to cover your painting. For an 18 by 24 inch canvas, I use about 6 tablespoons of gesso and add water to make it a little more fluid. Roughly 1 measure of water to 3 equal measures of gesso. When you first pour it out, the gesso will be very thick, like school glue. Add a little water until you have consistency that will allow it to cover the canvas, not so thick that it still looks like paste. Stir the water in well, but gently, again, so you don't get bubbles. When the gesso is as you want it to be, take your brush and dip the tip into the gesso and start to paint. You're going to paint the entire face of the canvas using long, even strokes, making sure to cover the entire surface. You should give your canvas 2 or 3 coats, depending on the quality of the canvas, letting each one dry completely before adding the next. It's that easy, a very basic and simple step to do, but one that's very important for the life and the quality of your paintings. Here you can see the difference between a primed and unprimed canvas. Doesn't that primed canvas look wonderful? It's just begging for you to put paint to it now. You've worked hard to create your masterpiece. You should take this step to make sure it lasts. Thanks for tuning in. I look forward to hearing from you. Please use the discussion forum to send me a picture of your next great piece of art.